To discuss how justified is the approach of the Congress and some other parties in the opposition of My Way or Highway holding crucial legislative business to ransom, we are joined by Jayanta Ghoshal, senior journalist. I welcome you, Mr. Ghoshal, to Newsnight. Given the fact that in the monsoon session of Parliament, Rajya Sabha proceedings saw a virtual washout, just 9% was the productivity of the upper house then. Not even one bill was passed by the Rajya Sabha last time. It was said to be one of the least productive in 15 years. Do you see the opposition forcing a repeat of that this time around in the upper house?
Exactly. And I think this is a very serious issue. Everybody is talking about only the financial aspect, that the expenditure per day, how much money we are wasting, public money. I don't want to go to that financial issues, but just see that it's not the problem and of Mr. Modi or the government. It's a problem of our democracy, because all the bills are now in a lamentable situation. In the Lok Sabha, it's peace because there is a majority, and Rajya Sabha, this situation because you have in minority, not majority.
Is this a regressive, intransigent approach of the opposition, which is hurting governance at the end of the day? Two bills were supposed to be considered, very important, all of them. One was the Whistleblowers Protection Amendment Bill that had to be considered in the Rajya Sabha. The Negotiable Instruments Amendment Bill had to be considered after being moved by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. None of them could be considered.
Exactly. And because the perception, the opposition perception, that if you destabilize the parliament session, then you will get the coverage and you can reach to the people easily. I think this is a disrespect to our countrymen also, that everybody wants hangama, everybody wants chaos. Why you are, thinking our Indian mass, they don't want business in parliament? And you know, the Andre Beti, the sociologist, he has written a piece recently, the political symbiosis in parliament is needed badly today. Because I asked one Congress leader that you don't care what will be the fate of the bills. He said, no, actually BJP, when they were in opposition, they also did the same thing. So this is a return gift. I said that, okay, then you are obsessed. What BJP did, you have to repeat, because and Mr. Modi was not there. It's a completely new era, new regime. And one thing I want to...
So they are trying to extract political revenge by doing that. But since you are talking about political symbiosis and a suggestion being made, one suggestion has been made by BJD MP, and that is that constitutional reforms being brought about so that the Rajya Sabha, which he said is the house of the elected, echoing the views of Arun Jaitley, should not be allowed to have veto on legislative business.
Exactly.
Do you think that is a suggestion that needs to be seriously considered and taken forward?
Yeah, and you know what, this suggestion you should, very seriously you have to take, because when senior minister, he is regretting for the statement, in spite of that, you are not taking it as a face value, and you are still trying to destabilize the house. That means the issue is not that statement. Your approach, your attitude, your mindset is to disturb, create the disturbances.
Is there any weight
the mindset
in the opposition's argument? Because as far as the comment of VK Singh is concerned, he had clarified after making that comment, and he said that his statement was taken out of context. He did not intend to hurt any public sentiments. After that, Rajnath Singh has also spoken in Parliament saying that the government condemns any such remark if it has hurt public sentiments, but VK Singh has already apologized. So a number of clarifications have been issued, and in the recent past we've seen how the government reached out to the opposition by calling two all-party meetings, inviting Dr. Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi for tea over GST. So hasn't the government really done a lot of reaching out?
Actually, when government is trying to reach out, and when Prime Minister himself, he is telling not only the members but to the nation in Lok Sabha, in Rajya Sabha, both, what is the approach? The approach of Prime Minister, he wants to take everybody on board. He is in favor of pluralism. So when he is saying all these things, you are not ready to accept what Prime Minister is saying. That means you may not like Mr. Modi. You may disagree with BJP ideology, but BJP has got the mandate to rule this country for 5 years, and you have to keep some patience.
And can
so
the
this
opposition
is
in this
not
case,
a,
the
is not a
Congress,
political
claim
intolerance.
any moral high ground on such issues? Because if you look at what happened during the Rajiv Gandhi years, then when the opposition MPs then had demanded that the Thakkar Commission report be made public, after that several opposition MPs were suspended by the then Speaker Balram Jhakar. Not just that, the chairmanship of PAC was taken away from the opposition. JPC became an all-Congress affair, and as a result of that, 100-odd MPs has resigned, forcing the advancement of the Lok Sabha election. So this has been the approach of the Congress when it was in power.
And this is it good for democracy? No. So actually, you have to, be away from this tu-tu me political culture, and you should play a role of a responsible opposition. And when Prime Minister is making some commitments, and when Minister is regretting, in spite of that, you are not ready to accept, and you are not ready to function the House. That means you are giving more importance to the micro issues to divert the big canvas policy formulation of the government. So if you concentrate on the small things, if you cannot say that, okay, be that as it may, let's do some business, this approach, let us agree to disagree, these are the basic the spirit of the democracy, but you are not ready to accept. That means one thing I want to tell you, Munmun, that the state politics, unfortunately in our country, always there is an election. Lok Sabha election maybe after 5 years, but each and every state there is an election, and before election everybody thinks that this is a gallery show, it's not a parliamentary business, is not important. If you are not create a hangama, then maybe your vote bank will be eroded.
Okay.
So this is a very oversimplified approach
are
of the
motivated by
this
the need
mindset
for
should be
grabbing
changed.
eyeballs, because unfortunately there's a perception among in our polity that once you do that, perhaps you get votes, like you're pointing out. But if you look at the statistics that are there, and if you compare how the Indian Parliament really compares with other mature democracies, if you look at how the US Senate or the US House of Representatives function, or how the UK House of Commons function, or the National Assembly of France function, they sit for far many days than the Parliament does. Can there be no consensus among political parties to ensure that at least governance does not suffer because of such disruptions?
Exactly. We should. Personally, I think there should be some parliamentary rules and regulations. There must be some do's and don'ts, and this is not for a particular party. Today BJP is in power. In democracy, tomorrow this opposition can be the ruling party. So you should be careful that what you are doing today, tomorrow you have to face the same thing what BJP is facing. So not only the two big political parties, all the regional parties are also very important now in a federal structure. And when Prime Minister and what you are saying, that meeting Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh, not only that, Parliamentary Affairs Minister, he is also meeting all the regional leaders in Parliament, and this is a very good practice, and everybody is talking to everybody. So when you are in the central hall, you can be a friend, and just after some time when you are in the floor and in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, you are behaving like a political
So
enemy.
at the end, I would want to ask you, who do you think is being politically intolerant today? Is it the government or is it the opposition, as far as the functioning of Parliament is concerned?
For the last few days, from the first day, each and every day I was in Parliament. And this is my realization and my take. This time, what happened in the next session, I am also critical on few points how BJP ruling party behaved in the last session. But on this session, my take that this time BJP is more, the approach is more pluralistic, accommodative, and they are actually trying to reach out. But opposition parties, they are more politically intolerant and they don't want to give the space to the ruling party to perform and to govern. This is very unfortunate for Indian democracy.
Absolutely. Besides the discussion on the constitution and the situation in Chennai floods, we saw a near washout of the Rajya Sabha